Hello, I'm Andrew. My life currently consists of wrapping paper and post office queues.
Hello, I'm Paul, and it snowed this week, so 2020 finally did something right.
Yeah, that would be the day that thunder snow was trending on Twitter.
Yes.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And this is Paul and Andrew watch all of Friday the 13th, where tonight we watch Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, the musical.
So, Paul, before we get started on this, what you had some trepidation about movie. How was your?
Well, as I say, we've had snow, which definitely cheered me up.
Yeah.
We also went to go get our Christmas tree this week, which was very nice. We went slightly earlier than normal and realized that we turned up an hour before the place opened. But the guy who runs it was very kind and said, if you want to, I don't mind. You can go in just the two of you on your own. So the two of us had an hour to ourselves in a forest full of Christmas trees in the snow. Well, not going to complain about that.
No, that sounds awesome.
That was awesome. Yes.
That was awesome.
But unfortunately, the daughter's in lockdown, so she wasn't able to come along with us, which is terrible.
Which meant you guys ran around the woods like children, where she couldn't see you running around the woods like children.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
What else have we been up to this week? We got a bit of an oldie. Well, same bit of an oldie. We got the DVDs of Erie, Indiana. So I don't know if anybody remembers that from the early 90s.
I definitely remember that from the early 90s. It was a solid horror comedy. Well, not more just like Twilight Zone sort of.
Yeah. Kids version of Twilight Zone, basically.
Yeah, I thought it was really solid, and I remember it having a through story.
Yes,
so plot arcs.
It does have a consistency to it. So something that happens in one episode still affects what happens later on. There's not that many episodes of it, but it still holds up quite nicely. They're good, solid stories. So we've been enjoying that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
For something even older than that, I finally got round to watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Ooh, and what did you think?
I thought that was a film and probably 2 and something hours of my life that I didn't need to waste watching it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those films that... You remember that whole thing about people seeing a train coming at them and they, in the cinema, and they ran away?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tiger Chili. Yeah, that was pretty much what Close Encounters of the Third Kind was like to me. I was just like, okay, well, it looks nice, but they forgot to have an ending. After, they forgot to have Act 3 after having nothing but Act 1. So that was a thing. Still better than my viewing week.
Well, what was your viewing week like?
Practically bugger all. We've been having internet failing left, right, and centre. So I've been desperately trying to catch up with work and get all that stuff done. Obviously, we have loads of home media. We've watched it. Because, yeah. Oh, well. Oh, and we also went and got our Christmas tree out of the loft, which was nice.
Excellent.
Because I think everyone's doing Christmas early, because why not?
Well, we seem to be quite late in our street, so...
No, I'm giving everyone a pass on going overboard for Christmas. Oh yeah, and Cyberpunk 2020 comes out. I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
And the community for it is toxic. Sorry, 2077 comes out tomorrow. It is toxic as hell. It is a whole bunch of carpetbaggers who've decided that the video game is the apex of Cyberpunk, and they're annoying me.
Have they based this on seeing it, or just because?
Because they've decided it's great. A lot of them seem to have really appreciated the fact that it's been described as transphobic. So they're like, "Oh yeah, stick it to the trans people, because that's really what trans people need: more shit thrown on them by a bunch of screamers that just like to be nasty." And I'm just like, you're gonna run around and tell everyone that you're an ambassador of the genre that I love. Great. Because
You know, my experience of Cyberpunk is somewhat limited, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of under the understanding that it was, we've got bigger shit to worry about.
Yeah, plus when you got an entire genre where you could literally, you could put your body into your mind into anything. You know, you could be an ocean liner, you could be a dragon. Suddenly then turning around and having this entire metal is strong, flesh is weak, complete transhumanist element to it. Obviously, a biology has to be brute simple, and yeah, the idea of someone having wanting to change their body in a specific way is mental, even though you can completely remove your arm and place a gun in it. So yeah, I'm not the only one. There's various of the older demographic groups I belong to looking at it and just going sigh. Anyway, on to cheerier things.
Yeah.
How is Paul feeling regards the series at the moment? How is your journey through Friday the 13th, which is apparently a screamingly misogynistic series? How's that going for you?
Well, the first half of the films I certainly enjoyed quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The last one was my least favourite by far.
We noticed.
And yeah, I don't know. I just keep thinking of this one as being a musical. And the reason is because it takes Manhattan in it.
I'm going to partly take that as you implying that were this a TV series, this would be now when they pull the musical to try and look hip.
Yes.
Yes.
So I've not got much hope for this film, to be perfect.
You haven't got much hope, but do you have stats?
I do have some stats, but before we go into that very quickly, Scarlet Tiger Chili has hit the nail on the head for me and said this is Muppet Friday the 13th, and it's because Muppets Take Manhattan is foremost in my mind every time I see the title of this one. But anyway, stats stuff.
Yes.
Right. So I do have some stats. So this week we're going to revisit something that Andy's mentioned previously to prove that I do actually listen to some stuff that he says. We're going to look at this in a little bit more detail. Nice. So you said that these films could be classed as sci-fi because they're set in the future.
Yes.
So the question for this week is, if I can get this working.
Oh, have you worked out when it's set?
Yes, I've worked out when each film is set. So we start with Friday the 13th, which the very first sort of intro says present day.
Right.
Not the bit in the past, but it then says present day. So the majority of the film is set in 1980, I'm going to assume.
Because that was when it was released.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Then we have events of part 2 are supposed to be 5 years later. Come on. There we go. And parts 2 and 3 and the final chapter are all within a few days of each other.
Yes, they are.
That puts all of them in 1985. Okay.
So all of them were futuristic.
All of them were futuristics because the final chapter was made in 1984 and we're still in 1985. Yeah. So Friday the 13th is the only one which is present day. All of them have been futuristic so far. So in the final chapter, Tommy's 12. By the time of New Beginning, he's 17, which puts us in 1990.
Okay.
Again, in the future, because the film was made in 1985. Mm-hmm. And part 6, Jason Lives, is set a year after that. So that's 1991.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in the future. And part 7, The New Blood, is a bit more complicated. So after the recap, the first thing we see is Jason underwater. So we know that it takes place after Jason Lives.
Yes.
Because at the end of the film, he goes into the water. And then we cut to a young Tina who's very helpfully standing by a calendar that says Friday the 13th of October.
Oh, but does it give...
Does it give a year? No, it doesn't give a year. But we do know that there was no Friday the 13th of October in 91 or 92 or 93 or 94 So there is one in 1995, and that obviously, as it happens after 91, must be when that scene is set.
Right.
What other conclusion could you possibly draw?
None.
Yeah. So that bit is set in 1995, but Tina's only 10 years old there, and the majority of the film takes place when she's 17, which brings us to 2002.
Oh my God.
So this is the film that was made in 1988, is set in 2002. Okay.
Right.
So that means that every film except the first has indeed been set in the future, and the story has, on average, been progressing at 2.75 years for each film, each year between films.
So
all of that means that we can now predict when the next film will take place. So, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, was made in 1989, just a year later, which puts it in 2005.
Right.
There we go. And Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, I'm just going through the rest of the series here, was made in 1993, which is a bit of a gap. And that takes it up to 2016.
Ooh.
Jason X was made in 2002, which means that one was in 2041.
That's closer than you think.
Yes, but still in the future.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason was 2003, which puts that in 2043.
Ooh.
So there we go. By the time we get to Jason X, we're probably going to be in space, aren't we?
We are going to be in space.
Oh, silver jumpsuits and everything.
The question is, when do you think Friday the 13th is set? The second one that was called Friday the 13th.
No, I think the second one is going to be set present day again. So
yes,
I think
it was.
Yes,
it was. You really have been listening to what I've been saying. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
I think everyone should give a round of applause. Those are fantastic stats.
There we go. So that's my lot for you this week.
I am excited. So, as you know, now comes would you like Andrew's amazing facts?
Oh, I would love some amazing facts, please.
Oh, what's it doing? Oh, that's what it did.
Slightly up to the side.
Can you see that now?
Oh yeah, I can see it. It's not in the middle of the screen, but there we go. There we are.
Yay! Welcome to Andrew's amazing Friday the 13th Part 8 facts. These are some absolute humdingers. So, first thing to know. Right, so Part 7 was the lowest return so far for the series, clocking up just over 19 million.
Right,
okay. So it was the lowest return. Now, obviously, there is a massive dip there for Part 2, but you got to remember that was pulled in for like $1,000. Sorry, for like a million or some shit. These are being done for about 6 or so million. So they're heading towards not being $10 per dollar return on an investment. So everyone involved in 7 had a brilliant idea on how to solve it. The director had a script about Tina Shepherd fighting Jason Voorhees after her release from an insane asylum. Laura Park Lincoln, who played Tina, had a script about Tina working as a psychologist for troubled girls. Kevin Spirits, who co-starred as Nick, Tina's boyfriend, had a screenplay in which the new blood had been a dream, and he would then return as the killer. So his amazing plan was to redo everything to Part 5, which everyone had hated. So yeah, that was not going to happen. What? Yeah,
out the window like a Jason victim should be.
What they did instead was they picked writer to director Rob Hebden.
Okay.
Now he was picked because of the Friday the 13th, the series. Okay, where he which had absolutely nothing to do with Friday the 13th other than the name.
Right.
And the fact that like the producer behind it was the producer behind Part 2, loads of crew, loads of actors. It was basically, it ran for 3 seasons and it just used anyone who'd been associated with Friday the 13th because they were good and because they were competent, and churned them through for a series that didn't even mention Voorhees and had exactly the same logo, exactly the same name, but was about a haunted antique shop.
Okay.
Anyway, Right. So he was originally hired just to provide a script, but he said he would only do that if they let him direct as well. And he said that and held off until they had 2 months to go before production would start, and they went, "Yeah, fine, okay." One of the reasons he did that was because he had directing experience and writing experience from Friday the 13th, the series. So the reason he had directing experience from Friday the 13th was he was originally called on as a writer, and then he started to refuse to submit scripts unless they let him direct as well. So he
got a track record of this then.
Yeah, fair play to the man. He got to direct. This was the first film he ever directed. And it was purely because he just went, bug off, doing it my way. Which, fair play to the man. Now, he had some wonderful ideas, and I mean wonderful. So, to quote, "The biggest thing we could do with Jason is get him out of that stupid lake where he's been hanging out." Fair enough. So he wanted him on board a cruiser ship in something a little bit. So one of his ideas was put him on a cruise ship that was going to make it a little bit Das Boot and a little bit Aliens.
Right, yes.
Okay.
See that, yeah.
But a full-blown cruise ship with Jason, who we last saw in... Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway. Or, and this was his other pitch, have it all in New York as a tremendous scene. Just have tremendous scenes on the Brooklyn Bridge, boxing match, Madison Square Garden. Jason would go through apartment stores. He'd go through Times Square. He'd go into the Broadway play. He'd even crawl to the top of the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and dive off.
Yeah.
A la King Kong. Yeah. So the budget said no.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So he combined both concepts and downscaled them to a small riverboat and the final act in Manhattan. And they also didn't shoot the whole thing on either in Manhattan or on a cruise. Ended up they ended up using a total of 8 different locations though, which included Vancouver, Los Angeles, and New York State and New York Times Square. So it had the most different locations. No use of anyone's back garden.
Okay.
The other thing they gave up was they stopped using ultra stereo.
Okay.
It's the first one in the series that didn't use ultra stereo.
Right.
It's also the first one that doesn't feature Manfredi credited on the score. So it's basically a new soundscape. So as said, it was set in New York, so they came up with some wonderful advertising, namely that.
Yeah.
However, they had to retract it after Vincent Tez of the New York City Tourism Committee, which is part of the New York State Economic Development Committee, filed a complaint about Paramount Pictures because they hadn't asked to use the I Love New York logo, which was owned by the city.
Okay.
So yeah, that was yes. There we go. One bit I forgot to put in the notes here, but I'll let you know. This cast were incredibly like us in that in the days prior to the shooting, they binged watched all of parts 1 through 7.
And it was an idea.
And it was this was the whole cast. This was everyone, all the name, all like the big name, the main cast. Just one day, all of them, bang, 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 trying to really get into it because they were intent on making Part 8 the best one. And various people have commented that the actual cast was really well prepared and really up for it.
Excellent.
Now, one person who was also incredibly well prepared, Kane Hodder. I cannot. Okay, so 4 things. One of the most fun he had was shooting in Times Squares. in Times Square as Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So he says the spectators were lined up and down the block watching the film. He didn't want to take off the mask to destroy their illusion of Jason. He said that every once in a while he'd turn in his head and look at them and they would go crazy. Apparently, he did a Jason twitch at one person and they fainted.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's proper
getting into it. And, yeah.
Properly getting into it. However, he also broke character on a number of occasions.
All right.
And the cast all thanked him for it because he developed a habit of when the director yelled cut after particularly harsh death scenes, right? He would jump up and do a disco dance in full costume. And they loved it.
That's brilliant.
Right? On a pure acting level, there is a final scene in which Jason vomits.
All right.
How do you think this was achieved?
Something behind the mask spraying out?
No. He drank several pitchers of water beforehand and managed to vomit on cue.
Oh, that's acting.
That is determination. He also had input on the script.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So originally, in the script, a dog uncovers Jason, and Jason just kicks it, as Jason would.
Mm-hmm.
No, says Mr. Hodder. He felt that kicking the dog was going too far.
Yes.
And he had sufficient clout to get that removed.
Mm-hmm.
He was just no, not doing this. And they were like, okay, no dog kicking. Because apparently he quite likes animals. So yes, that's pretty damn amazing.
Yeah.
That is.
I just love that idea of him diffusing scenes. If everybody's really into a scene and then they cut it and he just gets up and does that disco dance, I love that idea.
Yeah, it seems as though acting-wise they were really up for it.
Mm.
Excellent disco Jason.
Yes.
So, would you like to know what the critics said?
Oh, yes. So are we going to start with the good ones or the bad ones?
Your choice.
Let's start with the bad then.
With the bad. Okay. Desmond Ryan in the Ashbury Park Press. Common sense should tell you to skip this film. Mike Dems, Detroit Free Press. Even fans of the Friday the 13th movies will be disappointed. Tim Bryant, A Film Threat, an inscrutable narrative that pukes its way across an unforgivingly long 100 minutes.
Right. Lovely imagery.
Okay. Eleanor Rignall of the Atlanta Constitution. Isn't in the least bit scary and is only intermittently gory. I really want a Photoshop fusion of Jason Saturday Night. Ooh. And in 2007, Entertainment Weekly labeled Jason Take Manhattan the 8th worst sequel ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know what came before it?
Go on then.
In 7th, The Fly 2.
Right.
In 6th, Weekend at Bernie 2.
Yes. Okay.
5th, Batman and Robin.
Right. Yeah.
Which I have a long rant about how I actually do think it works on certain levels.
On certain levels, yes.
Yeah. And 4, Blues Brothers 2000, which was oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
At 3, from the series, which Tiger Chili does not want us to do because she will shit herself in terror, but I really want to do because it's brilliant. Leprechaun, Back to the Hood.
Okay. That's one I haven't seen, right?
Yes. This is a sequel to a sequel of a series. it's when people are like, what did Warwick Davis do when he wasn't on Star Wars? He did the Leprechaun series. No pixies or clowns. Yeah. In number 2, I didn't even know this existed. Caddyshack 2.
Really? Okay, no.
And the single worst sequel, according to Entertainment Weekly, Staying Alive.
I don't know that one.
Sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Starring John Travolta.
We have got round to
my comment about.
Yes.
So, would you like a positive comment?
Yes.
Right. David Nusser of Real Film Reviews ultimately stands out as very slight improvement over its various predecessors.
Okay. Hit the top shelf here.
There may have been a little cherry picking, but not much. So, a boat full of graduating high school students. Far too much of a close up for my liking. A boat full of graduating high school students heading to Manhattan. Accidentally pull Jason Voorhees along for the ride.
Just get stuck in the prop. Brilliant.
How are we feeling about this? How? What are your expectations of this?
Low, very low.
Ankle height. Higher or lower? Higher or lower?
Ankle height right now.
What?
Ankle height.
Ankle height. You're actually reckoning it's going to be worse.
Yes.
Okay.
But we'll find out.
We will find out, especially when you hit the magic buttons.
Right, so I'm ready. You're ready?
I'm ready.
Counting down from 3. So
yeah.
3, 2, 1, and play.
Keen observers will notice the timestamps back. So I finally worked out how to do that. Ooh, that's not the right one.
So this is a bit different. Who was that voiceover supposed to be?
Yeah. Fair call. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sad but true. Oh my God! This is sweating. This is a 1989 movie that sweats mid-80s. Oh,
lovely.
Kill him and we can start drinking early.
No, he just got punched.
Okay. Oh, he even gets his own name. He gets a name check, nice and early. Oh, ratty!
One little rat.
It is sweating 80s.
Yes, just a bit.
Oh,
that poor rat.
27th for a milk chocolate. That's not bad at all.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so we firmly established that New York is terrible, even though this is very much a late 70s version of New York. By this time, it had massively improved itself. This looks like something out of the Warwick. They are laying it on a bit thick, aren't they? As far as I was aware, that definitely the recovery had started. What they've just presented is very much the late 70s rather than the. What the hell?
So we go underwater to cut to Crystal Lake.
Okay. I mean, you can have the lake does have an in and out, doesn't it? It's not like you know more about this than I do.
Yeah,
The
you can
lakes
have.
have.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah.
Well, you can have completely enclosed ones, but
But generally, a lake's got an in and out, so the water gets in.
yeah. This boat is smaller
Okay.
than I was expecting.
I can smell premarital sex.
There's nothing that wakes Jason up quite like it.
Perms for a ride, big 80s. Oh, boobs! Did we keep a count on the first boobs? Because that's boobs at 4:28.
I think that's pretty early.
That's pretty. That's early doors, even for this.
And the first film had a couple going off fairly early on in it, but I think that was the only one that's had it this early. Ah, that's how it happens with an anchor. What's that?
Danger 3,000 volts.
Right. I see where this is going now.
God.
We're going with the
How many
electricity.
amps? Jesus. That guy looks like a child.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it me or does he look like you see Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he looks like the
Familiarity. Yes.
the douche from the latest season.
Yes. But with no moustache.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like he'd be able to grow a moustache.
Best pillow talk ever.
Yeah, that's really going to get her in the mood. Well, it did seem to work. Oh dear.
Yeah.
God.
Oh dear.
Yeah, okay. Bottle opener ready.
Yeah.
Continuity error. We don't have her dad. We don't have Tina's dad.
No.
He should be all over him, just going, fatherly love. So gloopy. Now you know a fair bit about boats. So you should be able, yeah, you should be able to spot hideous inaccuracies in this. So that's your job for today.
Fair. Well, the first one, if you want one, was why was the anchor moving? That's not the point of an anchor.
That was suspicious.
So, yeah. I do want Jason to pick up that as the weapon now. And just to have a moment of stabbing somebody and then looking at it and go,
Oh god, that is such a squelchy. That is
it would
really
be, yeah.
properly manky.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Jason picks it up and suddenly it's the authentic Jason mask, where before it was absolutely pristine.
Yeah.
Oh,
He missed.
he's been asleep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
9:54. Slasher.
Good on her, though. She's legged it.
Ooh. That is a TTK. That is a TTK of 9:54. That is old school. What have we got today? I've got Badyutka Premium
Sounds nice.
Russian beer. I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's kind of quite a heavy beer. Not too strong, but that's definitely got bites to it. What you got?
I'm on the squash again because
You
if I
like
had
squash?
if I had any alcohol today, I'll probably be asleep before the end of this film.
Yes.
Was this one in 3D?
It's tiger chili on red bush tea.
Mm.
See that?
Yeah.
Is it that what? No, I thought that was not because.
Yeah.
You were going to say.
No, I was just laughing at the ship name.
What was the ship name?
Lazarus. So Jason coming back from the dead so many times.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Good call on the ship. Yeah. I liked that second kill because it was a lot longer, a lot more. You know what I was saying last time about how it was just shot and done.
Yeah,
There was no post death revulsion. By taking the long shot, it extended the kill without making it gruesome, so we could just fill in the details. That seemed to have learned the lessons.
You also got that lovely after kill shot of Jason just looming over her.
Yeah.
That was a very nice shot.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was just going to flex out, just go, I needed that. Oh. First, it's like, said your first coffee after waking up. It's your first kill. And he had two in one go. I mean, he's laughing. How How shit was that anchor? Not
Yes.
only did it not stop, it seems to have just completely cut off.
Well, I think Jason's had something to do with it not being there anymore.
Oh, I know him. He's been in loads of movies. He's dead. I approve of his contempt.
Yes.
Double espresso tea kill shot again.
And you've been underwater for 3 years. That's what you want.
Oh, God. Well played, Tiger Chili. Well played. Oh, God, he hates everyone.
Yep.
Putting on a boat that's about to be overrun by Jason. How illegal!
Well, considering the kind of ship it is, I don't think anybody's really going to pull them up on it.
Oh, God. God.
I mean, his son's obviously had years and years of military training, hasn't he?
Wow.
It's not just daddy's gone, hey, come to work with me today, son.
Yar! I be Pirate Jason. What the fuck?
Where did they get him from?
Yay! Jazz funk! God!
I was starting to wonder in those first few scenes as to how Jason was going to get on a ship that was quite that small, or a boat that was quite that small.
I was actually thinking it was going to be him hidden on there.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to last very long.
But this
There's lots more with this one.
God, that's creepy. Oh, God.
Captain Privilege watching the teenagers kiss.
Oh, God.
Doomed. We're all doomed.
Stop being creepy, Sean. Oh.
What was the name of that website again? DoesTheDogDie.com?
DoesTheDogDie.com. I can't believe I just... Oh, I want to try something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Advertising.
Don't forget, donate to the UE Bowl Ball. It's all on Bunkerzilla. If you can't donate, please tell everyone about it. The more viewers we get, the more fun it will be. The more donations we get, the more fun it will be. The more people who know it's coming, the more fun it will be. It'll actually be worse for us than watching this. Although so far this is quite comedically bad.
Yes.
Not as bad as the one we watched on Poor Quality Movie Club with The Little Ghost's Shed last night. That was awful.
Okay. What was that one?
That was The Wizard of Mars, which was a riff on The Wizard of Oz in that there was a yellow brick road
on
for
Mars?
2 minutes on Mars for 30 seconds. And the main guy in charge of the city was a floating head. Other than that, it had nothing whatsoever. What the fuck?
It's got into an MTV video for some reason.
Well, it is the season of hair metal, so... Yeah. No! I mean, yes, the axe is very nice, but... No, she is no Jones yet, but the guitar itself is quite nice. So... Where you are...
I'm not a user. Just come downstairs and do exactly what I want.
Do all this work for me. Yeah. Do all this unpaid labour because I'm not a user. Because I'm not going to pretend to think you're sexy. I'm just going to tell you to do shit for me.
Yes. Is there? That's a great night to go out on a ship, isn't it?
They can't really choose what the weather will be like when they go out.
No, but you can choose whether you go out when you know what the weather's like.
This is true, but I think this is like a booked... Anyway. No, but I think we could convince Tiger Chili to not be scared of Faye if we got her to watch all of the Leprechaun series. So. No. I'm not even going to bother to put that one up. You all know what Tiger Chili said to that suggestion. Would a boat that big need 4 stories of power plant? Dogpile!
So this is interesting. Supposedly she's playing to a soundtrack which has got drums and music and singing, but not guitar.
Yes.
That does the trick.
Sorry, what you're reading up on? So I think she's just riffing along. As someone who has sat through far too many hair metal videos in my life because you had to watch the hair metal to see the good shit. That is such the cliche post. So for that kill. Jason literally just killed hair metal with a guitar. So,
Guitar straight to the camera.
oh. I had this really horrible feeling. My ideal film would be like dogs and bunnies running around in the front and just slaughter in the background. Oh,
That's it. They could come on to calm people down between the kills, and then run off as soon as the killer turns up.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Toby saw it too. Toby is bricking himself. What the hell?
So I think Scarlet Tiger Chili's just picked our final girl then.
Yeah. So who's the final? How is that a boxing match? That should be called ages ago. When it's like the 8th straight blow to the face.
Yeah. A green shirt's got no idea about defense.
Yeah. Maybe if I wear out his fist with my face. Okay, so Tiger Chili, if you reckon that's the final girl, who's the final boy? Oh,
not green shirt.
Oh God. Yes, but what if he was in a match against someone that could punch him?
Yes.
Just film guy.
Interesting.
Well, let's remember how good Tiger Chili is with her predictions. I wonder what he is up to these days. That's either a vibrator or a joint. What? Is it Mirror? Is he trying to channel the spirit of Crispin Glover? Who we've already seen in this series. Oh, it was cocaine.
It's nice to see that they're being responsible and using a metal reusable straw rather than disposable ones.
Yeah. The cocaine enthusiast market is highly known for its ethical sourcing of its products from
long-term sustainability.
Long-term stability of all elements of its supply chain. Although I did hear recently there was allegedly a batch in London that got cut with basically a laxative.
Yeah.
So yeah. Just I don't know why that amuses me so much. Possibly because I'm an arsehole.
There was a nice shot of the games room there, so I think that's going to feature a little bit later on.
I mean, this is one hell of a boat. It looks like a floating holiday camp. sort of holiday is this?
It's supposed to be a graduation party, but
How are two cokeheads who are probably like 30 seconds off the snort supposed to keep their shit that together? Bloody hell, has even got...
steam room.
I think that's technically a sauna. Jesus Christ, he's in absolute heaven. I was right. Called it. Sauna. Jason is just... This is just his holiday camp for him.
No, this one feels too easy. Oh! I see where this one's going now.
Are you the kind of person that complains about free pizza?
No.
Neither is Jason.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, entirely.
Yes. Oh!
They had some lighting effects to it while it was inside him as well.
Oh! 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 Yes, it was indeed cauterized, which means that wound won't get infected. That was... Oh God! Because if that went into his stomach, didn't it? Rather than his ribs.
I don't know. It's sort of like when they cut away, it looked like it went into his stomach first.
So that's that's pure death by shock.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah.
Mm.
My God. That was creepy.
Yeah, we seem to have this weird mix of two Jasons.
Who is that? And
Captain
how cheesy is it for the prom queen to be a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
No, you won't. You're going to go back and you're going to hang out with her because she has coke, and you know she has coke, and you'll do anything to get that coke because you're a cokehead.
Oh no, was that a mum and jumped in after her? Oh, no, it was Captain Sean.
Oh, that was the guy who was getting the shit punched out of him. Guessing. We don't know. She could be being haunted by her dead brother. Who knows? We don't know. It could be PTSD. Say thank you.
Yes.
So is Jason known well amongst the fishing community?
Maybe.
I
Maybe it's Crazy Wolf, Crazy Ralph's nephew or something.
That's a bad look.
Yeah, she's
That was nice. Other than the fact that she's being haunted by the spirit of Jason's past.
Mm.
So we got Scrooge. We got little Jimmy. Stall tactics. That's sexual harassment. No, because I don't want to be done for being a nonce.
Yes, here we go. Yes, stop that immediately. You've got it wrong.
Run away. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, poor little Rizzo.
But, yeah. From the single greatest version of... Oh, God. Oh, God. From the single greatest version of Christmas Carol, the Muppets, because the Muppets version... Muppets, Jason's Friday the 13th. Oh, my God. The only human being Jason. That would be so good.
Yeah.
Or Gonzo as Jason.
There'll be stuffing everywhere.
Oh.
So I think somebody just got their A.
What? He really doesn't understand how blackmail works, does he?
No, he doesn't.
I just thought, because we just blackmailed someone together. I need to know who that is. I need to know who that is.
So Jason sticks his head out and says, "Did you just say somebody was an asshole? I think that's going to be my next victim."
No. What? Jason doesn't make moral judgments.
No, it's almost
He
like
makes
cool.
murder judgments.
Yeah.
Kane harder, Tiffany. So it's Wayne who's the cameraman, right?
Okay.
No, is it?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to his name yet.
I don't know.
I know there's Captain Sean. I've learnt his name.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was someone famous, so I checked on IMDb, and none of them are.
Okay.
Oh my!
Straight through the door.
Oh!
I'll take that. Thank you. Here we go. He's getting some lovely poses in for these kill shots, isn't he?
Yeah.
They're making great use of him.
I watched all the pain off me just to get off.
Yes.
Okay. Compare that kill
Mm.
to anything in any kill in part 7.
You see, you didn't actually see anything in that kill, but I didn't
No.
feel cheaped out by it.
Yeah.
With part 7, I just felt they cheaped out on the kills.
That was
He just had that beautiful
comparatively bloodless. And
Yeah.
still, that was
So much better.
I think they finally learned to work with the sensor.
I mean, so many of them in part 7 would just come in, back, done, move on.
Yeah. There was
Whereas
no
that big build-up, we knew exactly what happened. We didn't need to see anything.
And having her running into the mirror whilst escaping.
Yeah.
Which was in literal insult to injury. That was a well thought out. Oh God.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
And again, we've got this lovely scene. You're not seeing anything, but the rain is coming across the window and obscuring it. When it does come in, it's just done beautifully.
Oh! That was worth the slow-mo.
Mm.
That effect.
Very nice.
I think that's probably the best one since part... I want to say... Which was the one with the road flare? That was part 5.
5, I think so, yeah.
That was the best next shot since part 5. Damn it, I wanted... There was blood there! They just didn't go overboard. Last thing you did was have an argument with him. You're going to be traumatized forever. Or 50 minutes, one of the two.
That boat should not be at that angle.
Now, I'm not a nautical person. Jugular gushes, yes. Oh, but come on.
Yes, but I think there's you said
Compare it to the next shot in the car in part 5. It is an emergency. It's been all the windows. How would it have been all over the windows when he was that
arterial spray? No,
I get the arterial spray, but he was like way below the windows. There's no way. What about all the staff?
I think there's only 3.
No, they were saying the waiters earlier.
Oh, were they?
And there was someone doing a reading, and he seems to suddenly have an awful lot of technical knowledge. So I freely accept that's how he got the anchor to come up. Arterial sprays will hit a 6 foot. Yes, but not when. This argument's not going to die, is it?
No. There should have been more blood.
I'm not going to go back. There should have been more blood. I happily accept that there should have been arterial spray. I thought it gave a lovely. The rip effect was really nicely executed, which I thought justified.
Everybody does know about Jason.
And all I'm saying is that he was facing down and he was beneath the window line, so it couldn't hit the windows. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it would be coating the floor like so much washing up liquid. Yes.
Because no swearing is really important when 3 people are dead.
But that's what a teacher would say.
Yes, cool. Sorry, they've only found 2 so far, haven't they?
We're at 5?
Yeah, but they've only found 2. I was thinking of the ones that they found so far.
Maybe. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe more of you're a kid do as you're told.
Yeah.
Because he's just an
arsehole. Whoever wrote that script was definitely trying to be down with the black kids. I gotta say, I think the actors are. I really do think they are giving it a good shot. The hell is she doing? Chekhov's fire axe. Oh, she's dropping the anchor. Because she's possessed. Does
Do you
it?
think going out in a storm makes any sense whatsoever?
Now you can have all the coke to yourself.
And generally, no, being too tight when you're in the middle of a storm is a bad thing.
Okay. So what we're basically saying is so far the arsehole teacher actually knows what he's talking about.
Oh, it didn't take her long to go back for more coke, did it?
I already cracked that gag.
Yes, that's good. This is a bit early for a chase scene.
I don't think that's a chase scene. Jason standing there hoping she's going to run towards him is not a chase scene.
Oh,
hang on, how is that being DJ'd?
See, now we're in your area of speciality, aren't we?
He is flexing in this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was a shrinking violet in the last one, but he's beefed.
They're giving him some quality shots.
Yeah. What the hell is going on?
So there seems to be multiple Jasons. Or no, he's just flicking all over the place. And turn around.
I mean, that was Bobbins, but that was great.
Yeah. Just my fists.
He was almost tough there, and then he's like, but this gun. Oh God, that was a fucking genius. Honestly, I am amazed. I don't know more about. I haven't seen more with these people in it.
They're going for it, aren't they? They deserve something for
They-
that. Ooh. Lost his glasses. Instantly blind. Can't see a thing. Gonna die in a minute.
Looking through.
Oh. Oh. Is that...
Not Jason.
No, I think is that the first accidental kill we've had in the series.
Oh my. Ooh. No. Oh God. Is that the deckhand?
Yeah, it's not
No.
the Doom deckhand, but it's one of the other ones, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh.
Yes.
Quick, grab the boob. Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. There's some
That
nice exposed electrics for you.
That was health and safety accident waiting to happen.
Yes. And unfortunately, camera guy's gone.
So, Tiger Shirley's theory that that guy was going to be the last, the last man. Graceful acceptance.
Yes.
Golf clap. I'm still not feeling one yet. I'm absolutely not feeling one.
Feeling one what?
Last bloke.
I think it's got to be Captain Sean. I think.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Captain Boy. Mm,
Just look at that haircut, man. It's...
in case of fire punch shit out or something. So Jason did actually. We now know Jason can read, and Jason follows instructions.
Mm. It's...
I can't fault his logic.
Well, yeah, he's got good logic there.
And his plan is to draw him out. That's the teacher is a highly competent twat. Yeah, I think we're all calling our. Kid got close. Thank God he's only armed with a shotgun.
Yeah. We've got a lot of runners today. Okay.
And a jogger.
Yeah. Jason was able to climb quite quickly there. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I honestly thought he was going to last longer.
No.
I think that's about as close as you're going to get to a window shot today, I'm afraid.
Accepted. We still got a chance, but...
Well, he went straight in the water. You know, he could come back later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're planning to...
You were saying about the lack of window shots,
yeah,
sir.
about the window shot.
Ink.
Shell. Oh, yeah.
The pen is mightier than the Jason. Oh! Dear. Oh. Oh. He's literally bleeding eye gunk, isn't he? That's disgusting.
Yep.
While you're there, Jesus.
That's the ship going down.
I seriously question the geographical veracity of this film. Ooh, so many choices. There has to be a cooking staff.
Yeah, with a kitchen that size, look at it.
With all that stuff still warm.
Yeah.
Unless we're about to find a cupboard full of cooking stuff, at which point I'm going to feel like I really let down the proletariat by demanding their death. Colander him to death.
Yes. It's like, which one of those is going to get used?
What?
Brilliant, yeah.
What? Jurassic
Park, yeah.
This is... Now, you know a lot about boats. Is it bad when that starts happening?
Yes, very.
Right.
That is what's generally known in the trade as sinking.
Right. And sinking is bad?
Yeah, generally on the boat scale, sinking's down the shit it's happening scale or end of the scale. That is on the we're fucked end of the scale.
Okay.
Pretty much Titanic time, as Scarlet Tiger Chili says. At this point, you will be looking to get off.
Yeah,
Ow.
no, I'm This all has to be on the Hudson River.
Oh, that's the big one going to New York, yeah?
Yeah, north-south. When Camp Crystal Lake is off to the
South?
west.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I just lowered the lifeboat means. We kind of macked everyone else.
Most people are gone. Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about this guy. Yep.
Ooh, nice shot. Whoa!
There he is.
Hey! Oh, the dog! The dog! The dog!
How on earth did the dog make it? I don't care.
Question it.
Made it.
Dogs get a free pass.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, dodged the rowing duty again.
Oh, shut up.
Yes, we're not on the sinking ship.
Shut up and let the man think. Aww. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's not someone's back garden, Paul,
Yeah.
with a fog machine. Although that did always have a certain charm. How have they rowed for a day and a night? That's...
I think one of them's not putting much effort in. They're just
that's... Three... I seriously question the geographical viability of that, because that meant they went into the open ocean.
Yep.
What the fuck? I'm not angry they got there. I'm just, that is such a kludge. It's untrue. Who's a good dog? Who's a good dog?
Well done for climbing that ladder. Good boy.
Yes, you're in New York. There has to be one somewhere. Will you shut up? What? Just.
Can't he needs to go, doesn't he? Can't he go?
Oh my god!
The thing is, Jason's such a fantastic swimmer. How did he drown first time round?
Power walking. Yeah, how did he drown first time round? Well, he was 5.
Beat the competition. Oh, a brilliant shot.
I do not like the attitude that teacher's now got, because he's gone from a bit of an arse to a complete toss. Well, yeah. Yeah, but for them to have come at that angle. They just shoot the fucking dog.
Shoot at the dog. These two are going to be Jason so soon.
They bloody deserve it. They shot a dog. Yeah, as I said earlier, they had to have gone down the Hudson, but for them to have rowed that far and not hit the side of the river, they had to have come from the sea. It's the only possible option, because the Hudson isn't that wide. I mean, it's wide, but it's not that wide that you couldn't reach land in a day and a night. Yeah, its widest point, the Hudson, is 3 kilometers wide, which on a rowing boat you can do in about 2 hours. What the hell? If you're not going in circles. Okay, but they had a navigational tool. They did not care about geographical accuracy, is what I'm saying, when they made this film.
Ooh. I think we're just about to hit something I'm not going to like watching.
I think it's about to get a little bit pinhead. I'm quite nervous as well. But now it's so right. Oh! I don't think he needed the needle.
I don't think the needle made much difference there.
fucking Jason, you dumb bastard. Haven't you heard?
Everyone else has.
Oh boy, are you about to have some bad news? Oh.
I love that shot with the steam coming out from behind the mask.
Oh! Now that's definitely the Jason we know and love. Oh. He must be standing there, just be like, "Oh, what are these strange metal trees I can bounce people off of?" Oh,
Wait, come on, drag him. Oh no, we almost had a tiny window shot.
I accepted the fact that we hit peak window shot in part 3. I've accepted it. Part 4 had the second nicest. It's just I'm accepting this.
Yep.
I can't blame him. Hey, he's knocking him back. Move around him. Move around him.
Go on. No,
4 more shots and he'll get him to the side. He'll get him to the ledge. Go on, kid. Go on. Go on.
No, you're going for chest
No,
shot.
I know what he's trying to do, but
Yeah,
let him work it.
he's getting tired.
Oh, gee, come on.
Yeah.
We saw you earlier. You can do this.
You're used to fighting people who don't fight back. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Jesus.
It's credit to this
come
guy.
on.
For somebody who's not going to survive to the end, he has probably had the longest time fighting off Jason.
Come on, he can still live. Keep it up. Come on, come on, come on.
I think he spent.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, such a good effort.
Oh, man. No, come on. Oh, come on. Don't. No. Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh!
I was expecting to get knocked right
Brutal.
off the edge or something like that. Not
That
that.
was. Oh my good God. That was. Got me there. That really did. Oh, no laugh emotes. No laugh emotes after that. That was a brilliant. And the detailing.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'm loving the fact that they're in New York, one of the most popular cities on the planet, and it feels as deserted as Camp Crystal Lake. That's a brilliant motif. Oh, that is one of the weirdest accents I've ever heard in my life.
He got what he asked for.
How did they make a mic cord look so visceral and disgusting?
No,
No!
slow down.
What?
Okay, you could have slowed down before that bit.
That slow-mo was shit. On average, unfortunately, the slow-mo in this episode has been awful.
Mm.
And you know how much I like that first shot.
Hang on, was the mother still in the car?
Yeah. She's probably still alive. No, hang on, that makes it work. Sorry.
That makes 2 accidental kills now.
No, no way does that count. That's like, I get what you mean, but that's
Hello? That's really going to help her swim in it, isn't it?
so don't go in the lake.
Yes.
And worst father ever award goes to. Or you'll literally die as I stand above you scoffing. Because you threw her in the lake. It's still your fault. You don't get to go, ooh, but I tried to save you after you tried to kill them.
Oh dear. This is the worst chase.
Oh!
The window shot.
Thank you, Jason. Can we have another? I mean, it didn't do it. Oh, the rat died. Oh, good God! That's where the gun tank came from.
Yeah.
I've never seen Jason so annoyed. There's no way I'd sit on that sofa. Who knows how many decades of piss is on it?
But remember, she is still out of it.
She is still loaded on heroin of some sort.
Yes. Would completely agree. It looks far too clean.
I have a feeling over the week I'm going to be doing a serious investigation to what path they could have taken to get there. Because that kid getting his head punched off, that scene was far more emotional than the whole survival bullshit relationship. Oh, thank God!
Teenagers!
Hormones! Jason Smash! Oh, God! That was perfect!
Now, Jason has a habit of getting distracted when there's other people nearby.
Oh, God. What happens if Jason walks past a brothel? I know we shouldn't laugh, but we will.
Don't complain, love. Yeah, normally he'd just massacre the lot of you.
I'm gonna say. Yeah, no, it's fine. Take the £100 fine.
Yeah. Um.
So, just check. Jason, is a zombie corpse who has been under a lake for God knows how long.
He's just got juiced up again.
Oh God! Now he's Super Jason.
20.
What?
Just trying to work this one out, actually.
What?
He was underwater for 20 years.
Right.
With a couple of days out.
Right. How bad does New York have to smell for them not to comment on the rot 20 on a corpse with clothing that has been rotting underwater for 20 years, walking past in an enclosed space with no one going, "Fuck me, it smells like a corpse." And why does that guy look like a flasher?
He does look entirely like a flasher, doesn't he?
How bad does New York smell for them not to? Old school Burger King.
Do you reckon they got paid sponsorship money for any of those?
I have no idea. I think it's if you film in Times Square, I think you just. I have no idea what the. Maybe Big Times Square paid their protection money.
Yeah.
God, no, it isn't.
I love the fact he's still wet.
Well, he did kind of. He only got out of the sea about what 30 minutes, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
He's been electrocuted.
What? Why are 4 punks listening to light rap?
That's what Jason thinks about it. Interesting.
Does this count as hick terror because he's now terrorizing people from the city? Oh!
That's a nice shot.
Yeah. That's the weirdest lock I've ever seen.
Well, yeah,
Really?
you put the padlock on, lock it, but don't bother bolting anything. Really? Interesting choice.
It's been a lot of interesting choices in this film.
Mm. Really?
Really? Scheduled toxic waste dumpage of New York. I have a feeling no.
We know what electricity does to Jason. What does toxic sludge do to him?
God, probably makes him glow in the. It's about the only naff kill so far. It's impressive. Really not sure how I feel about wet look, Jason. Why is that just sitting there?
The thing that says danger, toxic waste.
Oh God. That Jason face was terrible.
Yes.
Even allowing for the extra years he's been under there.
Mm.
New from Tandy, glow in the dark Jason.
Yeah.
$4.99, victims not included.
Don't
Unless
run.
that's
Climb.
supposed to be like Jason with his face melted a bit off.
I think it's supposed to be. Hang on.
Oh, that was the one on cue.
Yeah.
Well done, Mr. Hopper. Mr. Hodder, sorry. Stop breathing.
Yeah.
Do not breathe.
So Jason's now afraid to drown.
After he walks across the Atlantic.
Oh.
And there's a fire motif.
Okay. What?
Okay.
It's a remarkably intact hand.
That's a remarkably human hand.
Oh, it's burnt away the years.
And the evil. And his original birth defect.
So kids, if you're ever attacked by evil, just remember, toxic sludge gets rid of evil.
What?
Toxic sludge for your home
No,
cleaning.
no, that's just me going, what?
Yeah.
This as a whole. Get to the hospital.
Yeah, you've both been exposed to toxic sludge. You're
Huge amount.
Yeah.
You don't know what they injected you with. Oh, it fills me with so much happiness. Aww. I can't be asked to listen to that soundtrack because it's bollocks. I suspect you may have opinions.
The first hour of that was a really good Friday the 13th.
That opened really strong.
Yeah, so the first hour I thought was like really good. I loved this, the shots that they were doing were brilliant. Yeah, it all worked quite nicely. And then the last 30 odd minutes were just what the yeah. Yeah, last scene will get you in the last.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I'm not going to. As I said, I'm not going to. I'm sorry, not as I said, but as you said, first hour, very good.
Yeah, there were some really good, stylish kills. I mean, even though we didn't see too much gore from them, the setup for them was nice. What we saw was good. Just the whole shots and everything was brilliant.
It had the length as we discussed, so there was a proper chance to really feel they were evocative rather than perfunctory,
and that there were a couple of people who actually made a run for it.
Mm-hmm.
Quite nice to see.
But
that second part of the film, it's just
it had some really nice moments.
It had a couple of nice moments. It did, yeah.
I got what they were trying to do,
but it was done badly.
It was very done badly. I don't know where they were going with that subplot.
I mean, that was almost the excuse for Jason ignoring other people in New York, that he'd tried to get her once before and she'd escaped him, so he was going to finish her before anyone else. Because there were a lot of scenes where he had the opportunity to off someone, and he didn't, and it was very un-Jason. Because normally he stalks and gets them alone, and when they're alone, that's when he goes in for the kill. He doesn't go into public areas.
But this is the first time he's had a chance to go into a public area.
It's not, though, because there's a couple of times when he's been in towns or there've been groups of people together.
Town? When's he ever been in town? He's been
Well,
on the outskirts of town.
Well, yeah, it was on the outskirts when he woke up in the mortuary or morgue or whatever it was.
Yeah, but that was him getting back to Crystal Lake.
It was, but he did have that moment in town where he left town. So, but
yeah, no, I get your point. That is,
whenever there's been more than like 2 people, he's stayed away.
Like they ran out of money. I don't think it was like they ran out of money. I think it was like they ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
because they got him to New York, and then they had to come up with a reason why. I definitely the target obsession is something very new. It wasn't as tactical and it wasn't as thought out. I think they needed a reason. It was like they were coming up with reasons. They needed a reason for the tension in the family, and they needed a reason for Jason to be so focused on the last 2 people, on the last boy and last girl. I got what they were trying to do, but yeah, it just felt weird.
Yeah,
and the whole toxic washing away thing, I think it was almost like they had this idea of getting into New York, to Manhattan, and then they just didn't know what to do then.
Yeah, that was definitely lost the plot.
Even though as Taishi says, it feels like they ran out of money. I don't. Catch you laters. Definitely better than last week. I don't think it was that they ran out of money. I think it was that they ran out of ideas, because with the scenes they had, because those were some pretty. You had Times Square, which is not cheap. That's not going to be a cheap shot. That's not going to be cheap. To have an entire tubeway scene, to have that sewer scene, which had one of the lamest kill of the whole thing.
That was a weird one, because Jason had gone past so many other people.
Yeah.
Get to them, and then there's this one guy in there, and he's like, "Well, that one's dying." And it's like,
well, the one he flew into the window.
No,
sorry,
the one where he hits with the spanner in the sewers.
Yeah, it was an inconsistency.
Yeah,
which gets away from what we've commented on, which is the consistency and the clear motivations and emotes of Jason. Yeah, but honestly, when they're in New York, it was like they ran out of ideas. I kind of got what they were trying to do in the first 20 minutes when it was very sparsely populated. I like the idea of coming from Camp Crystal Lake all the way to New York, and the situation in New York being the same as Camp Crystal Lake. That I liked.
Which worked when they were near the docks and sort of on around the docks. But once they got to like the subway and stuff, it
was just weird. He wasn't reacting to anyone on the subway.
Yeah,
it should have been a charnel house, and as I said, they needed excuses to do certain things, and definitely, and that weird ending of all the toxic.
Yeah, it's almost like it washed the evil bit of Jason away and left the boy, but then they just left the boy.
Well, he was dead and coated in a layer of toxicity. That was very strange. The death of Jason, I was very disappointed with, because that was so what has just happened, especially after he looked scared of drowning after he'd walked all the way down the Hudson River from the sea. Yeah, that was very questionable.
Yeah.
On the subject of Jason, his magic flitting powers, because they very definitely made a choice in this.
Yeah, so that was a lot. I mean, there's been a couple of times throughout the series where he seems to have teleported from one place to another.
Never so blatantly.
This is much, much more blatant. And even there was that bit in the disco. Where he's like one moment he's over there, then he's over there, and then he's nowhere, and then he's back again.
That definitely set the tone of the magic flitting.
It did, but then I didn't like him having the ability to do that because then it sort of undermines all the chase scenes where people are running away from him. It's like, well, if I run left or right, it doesn't matter because you're going to be in front of me both ways. And
They didn't know that.
they didn't know that, but me as a viewer, I feel that the whole, well, why are you bothering to show us a chase scene when there's no point to the chase scene?
Because we know there's no point to the chase scene. The victim doesn't know there's no point to the chase scene.
Yeah, but as a viewer, I like the idea that somebody not necessarily can survive it, but can do something to increase their chances of surviving it.
See, I totally get what you're saying. I think with him being electrocuted again, or just for whatever reason, they made a decision to have him teleport.
Yeah.
For which of a better phrase. They changed the power set. Fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think not having a weakness with that power set, like Jason can always get back up. Like we were discussing when he was completely unkillable.
Yeah.
We have no problem with Jason always getting back up as long as you can leg it away. With the teleportation, if there was something that stopped him doing it, they made a decision to make the chase more cynical for us as the viewer, to give us a change, because we're used to the chase sequence. This time they were just outright blatant, and especially considering in the last one they showed us how his teleporting worked. In this one they just went, no, we're going to go completely the other direction. It's now just basically teleporting.
Yeah.
It's not that he moves carefully. This is pure magic. So in the first couple where we saw Jason just standing in the hallway, that lasted a legger, and then he appeared behind her. I liked that because that was something new, that was something scary, and suddenly we're like, well, they're dead, whatever. And that's a change. But they weren't necessarily consistent with it, and then they didn't really do much with it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It was the lack of consistency and the lack of not really...
Oh, that's it. There were quite a few scenes where people did...
It wasn't interesting.
No. It was random as to whether he would teleport after them or not. And
yeah. I don't know how they could have made that more... It was like him being in New York. It was a good idea, but it wasn't that well executed, which surprises me because the attention to detail elsewhere, like I said, when that policeman got pulled into the alley, we didn't see the kill. What we saw was the walkie-talkie cable getting pulled, and you saw all the strands coming out. We knew from where he'd been taken that his neck was being pulled off. In the boxing sequence on the roof, that guy's, the kid's knuckles were getting gradually more and more and more fucked up. There's been a phenomenal attention to detail in this film, but just not on the plot.
Yeah. So, as I say, there were some really nice bits in that first hour. And I think if they just added in a final scene to that, it probably would have worked much better as a film.
I think if they'd gone with one idea or the other, and I don't think he needed to go to Manhattan. I think if he'd gone to if it just been Jason in the city, that would have, in a city, that would have worked. I think doing the whole Manhattan thing gives you a lot of expectations, and they didn't do that. I do think there was some very good moments in the final act, but I do agree there were less of them. One thing I will say, and I will defend this to the bone, as an ensemble cast, I think that's the best we've had so far.
They did do a fantastic job. There was only one bit I didn't particularly like. It's when the father was running away, and he kept sort of checking behind him. And I thought that was a bit weak.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, like the kids,
untouchable.
Yep. I really their
May
performances, and
yeah.
to be honest, this is probably the first one where we haven't had a really annoying character. I mean, there was a little bit of joking at the start of it, but there wasn't that sort of silly comedy character. They all played
Mm,
quite straight.
yeah. I'm going to walk back my comment. I think possibly the cast in part the kids in part one.
Mhm.
I think they were a bit more naturalistic, and I think they had a bit of a better script. But I think as Kevin Bacon was great. So was his last. What did you? I thought there was a bit more parity, sex wise.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Was there only one sex scene in this?
There was one sex scene at the start.
Yeah.
There was
There was a bit of kissing.
no
Can't
bit of
remember
kissing.
anything else. Yeah.
No, there was a lot less sex.
Yeah. I think the only other nakedness we had was the prom queen one when she'd just come out of the shower.
Yeah, but that wasn't sexy sex. That was vulnerability.
Yeah.
Although obviously the whole women getting brutally, all that stuff. The teacher. Now that's someone who definitely changed radically in the two sections.
Yes.
What did you think of him as a character?
I did not like the guy. I mean, to
No,
start
no, no. Not if you liked him. I'm asking about as a character.
yeah, so to start off with, he was. I mean, I didn't even realize he was that girl's dad to start off with. I thought he was just like the head teacher of the school or something.
I think there were a couple of lines on the doc that gave it away, but they weren't necessarily. Yeah,
it wasn't.
Plus the whole what the hell is that cruise was quite confusing.
Yeah. So yeah, because then the mother and daughter turned up in a car on their own, and he wasn't part of it, which kind of felt there was a bit of a disjoint in that.
But he said he was the legal guardian.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so to start off with, he's acting a bit like a school teacher and a strict authority figure, but he's also making quite a few good calls. So he starts off and he's saying things which are they're bang on. He was right in quite a few cases, but then they get to New York and he's just gone to full blown arsehole basically. And he's lost all sort of authority because he did have a sort of a level of authority from being right about things. But he just lost all of that in the second part and just turned into the arsehole character.
Again, it was like they had to have that emotional break sequence.
Yeah.
Just such an inconsistent.
Yeah.
Almost like two films glued together, which it was. Well, it was two ideas, but then such a. Okay. On a more happy front, what was your favourite kill?
Oh, I'm kind of torn between two here. So, the second kill, so the girl's legged it. She's gone and hidden somewhere, and Jason's found her, and he's looming over that hatch. It wasn't necessarily the kill itself; it was just his posture, the whole shot of him standing looming over her. I really liked that.
That was 3 shots combined. That was 4 shots combined. That whole kill, because we had her inside. We had the shot just of her inside. We had the shot of him over his shoulder. We had the shot from up, and we had the shot from the side of the boat. So that was 4 shots.
Yeah, so I really liked how that all came together and just the visuals of that. I think that was really good. But then I'm also kind of tempted the one where the girls just come out of the shower and he goes and he smashes her into the mirror. And then you get all the broken glass, and he goes and selects a piece of glass.
She ran into that mirror because she was trying to escape him.
What happened was he was coming through the door, and she just sort of legged it, and I sort of like almost sort of leg half running, half pushed. Went head first into that mirror. But yeah, that one I think was quite nice. Again, it wasn't one where we saw the actual kill, but
Mm.
the setup for it was so nicely done that we were left in no doubt as to what was happening. So I didn't
Okay.
feel cheaped out on it at all.
Yeah. I'm going to stand by my original call,
Mm.
and I'm going to do this purely. It's not necessarily the most cinematographically. Is that a real word? Cinematographically great kill out the whole lot. I've got to give props to the next shot on the captain, because that was a lovely. And yes, I do appreciate that there wasn't the gushes of blood.
But for something keeping within the senses, I think that was a really nicely done
It
shot.
was it was the very slow peel and the slow separation of the flesh, enhanced by a very good use of slow mo.
Mhm.
It
That was the only good use of slow mo during the film.
the second use was piss on a stick. I just thought that was probably the best practical effect.
Yep.
In it, and there was just something really, I just thought it was really
Mm.
cool.
Yeah. That was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole scene. And it was a nice long scene as well, wasn't it?
Well, it connected really nicely because you had the low visibility death. I think it was the whole sequence. It was the low visibility death in the pilot, which was justified because you had all the rain going against the window.
Yeah. So
The captain, we didn't know what happened to him. The captain comes in, you see the reveal, and as you're being hit by the previous kill, you
we
then
didn't,
have
we
that
didn't
shot.
know what would happen to him because there was a long scene of him being impaled.
No, because it was all below the window line.
Well, yeah, true.
We saw whatever the hell that long stick was being
Mm.
brought in, and we knew it had been thrusted at him, but we didn't have. So we thought we knew what had happened, but we didn't actually see. We did the reveal was when the captain saw it.
Yeah.
So that's a nice, and it wasn't a cheap hide.
Mm.
It was we didn't see it because we were outside when it happened. So that was, I just thought
Yeah.
that sequence was a nice, because it was a mix up of stuff.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be with me.
Very good visual.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel this builds on? And I'm not asking. Okay, this is not trying to hedge into the Hall of Fridays. That comes in a minute.
Mhm.
How do you think this builds on the on the story of Jason Voorhees?
So I felt,
In addition to the overarching story.
yeah, I felt that Jason in this one, in that first part of it, was a really well developed version of Jason.
Mm.
We're getting some nice stalking, opportunistic kills. Just he got a lot more screen time around the kills, and I felt that worked really well.
They were definitely a lot more confident with showing Jason. Hello?
I've lost you.
No, I said they were definitely a lot more confident with showing Jason.
Yeah, and I really like that. I think that developed Jason's character really well. And I enjoyed seeing that, and I enjoyed the scenes with him in. He had a real presence in this one. So I think, as a development of Jason, it worked in that first bit. Towards the end, it lost that because there was too much of the random bits that didn't make much sense. The teleporting, the toxic waste stuff, Jason ignoring other people. Just that last 30, 40 minutes of the film, it's like they kind of undid the good work that they'd done in the first part.
I kind of like that people knew about Voorhees, which at this point, when the guy's killed, how many kills is he up to?
It's got to be over 50, isn't it?
Hang on.
But yeah, because the father
I
character,
think by this point he's up to 100. So when you've got the single most notorious killer in American history,
mm,
outside of literally a guy dropping, and a nuke on someone, I think the fact that people knew about him,
yeah,
I didn't have I liked, and it was
yeah,
almost like he was a topic of discussion. I also liked the fact that he was clearly being used as a boogeyman by parents.
mm,
So, and that the legend had gone beyond Camp Crystal Lake. It was the first time I really got a sense that it had grown.
yeah, yeah. That was a nice development of it.
Yeah,
Because by that point you would have thought, yeah, you've lost that many people over a number of years. That story is going to get out and people are going to know it.
yeah. It wasn't just the people going through Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, that bit I like. I think the toxic waste thing was like the 80s idea that toxic waste is acid, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, yeah, that.
Yeah, was not a good ending.
No, absolutely not. But I mean, do you think it was? How much of a development? Compare it straight to the last one. How well do you think it developed compared to the last one? Which
See,
again is trying to avoid the question
yeah.
of was it better or worse at this point, but just on the building block scale, do you see a progression or a development for the series as a whole?
I think that the cinematography of this, the shots involved were much nicer. This felt like a more polished version of what we've had before.
I definitely said I thought they developed their technique for working with the sensor rather than against.
Mm. And a lot of the scenes were very nice and very professionally done, and I really liked that. Even the bits where we weren't quite sure what was happening, because you remember that bit where she's dropping the anchor, and you're like, well, what's she doing? And then she's just got a sign next to it that says anchor, and you're like, oh, that's what she's doing. Thank you for that helpful but not completely out of place hint to what's going on. But it worked well because it told you exactly what was happening, and it wasn't ham-fisted in any way.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of nice elements to it like that. There are lots of nice little scenes in it, so I felt that was very polished. They had quite a lot of humor in it as well, which is developing on what they've introduced previously. So there was like a couple of good laughs in there, and the other bits just sort of seemed to develop nicely until they got to the end.
But even then, though, I cannot criticize the director for wanting to get away from Camp Crystal Lake.
No, I can understand that.
On that development, I'm going that you can't. Someone actually going, hang on. We've had 7 trips to Camp Crystal Lake. The last one, the way it was kept fresh was by bringing fucking Carrie.
Yeah.
On that.
I completely understand that. So the change in scene worked well. I don't think that taking him into the city bit worked well, just because they hadn't really thought it through. It felt like.
Yeah, I'm not asking this on a
changing the scene was a good direction to go in.
Yeah,
and
so
if they
not asking if it's good or bad, it's literally take where it was in the previous one. Look at what they tried to do in this one. How are we thinking it's working on that level? Not on a level of success or not, but on a thought process. But
no, as a development of storyline, it was probably time to move out of the lake, and I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, I'm going to circle back to that when we come on to the next week stuff. But I think we both know what time it is.
Oh, is it that time for Hall of Fridays? Oh no, what critics said.
No,
okay.
What? Why are we on what critics said? Oh, because I'm on the wrong fucking screen. Right. Okay. Drum roll, please. Here we go. one day I'll look like a professional. Right, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, I don't think it's going to be up here.
No.
But how low will it go?
The question: can I split the title in half for the two halves of the
No,
film?
you can't. You got to place it as a whole
Yeah.
thing. But you are allowed to move other things around. Remember,
Yeah.
this is trying to get it in context of the whole series. So
I said ankle height was my expectation.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking ankle height still.
What would that be?
So lower than that.
That's shins. Your ankles are beneath your shins.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you classing this worse than New Blood?
See, this is the problem. The majority of the film, I think, was far better than New Blood.
You've got to take it as a whole.
Yeah, that's my difficulty with it. But I was very disappointed with that last bit, so I'm not sure. Can I put it alongside New Blood for the time being?
You can.
And I'm going to have a think about that, and I'm probably going to rearrange for next time.
I mean, compare it to A New Beginning.
It's the lack of consistency that's ruined this one for me. There were so many nice bits to start off with, and then with the ending being so disjointed.
How? Yeah, but you're talking about like the last 20 minutes. You're talking about the last 20 minutes.
Last third of the film?
So even before the car crash.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was at the car crash that it lost it. That's why I'm a bit. I mean, it is your board. I have to respect that. I think you're being a bit mean on this one, but if you think it's that bad,
as I say, it's because it's the ending of the film was disappointing compared to the start of it. It's left a bad taste in my mouth at the moment. So I think I'm going to leave it there for the time being.
Okay.
But next week I'll probably have had another thought about it, and I might want to jiggle it around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to counteract what you said. It is your board. I am going to state that I think that the last 40 minutes were better than New Blood. But that's
your opinion.
That's my opinion. Anyway, so your opinion, by the way, pretty spot on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this is so far the lowest ranked of the series.
Ooh.
It's got an adjusted IMDb of what it's got an adjusted IMDb. It's a C, but it's 1.4.
Okay.
In the banding from one at the bottom and 3.3 at the top was how I did the banding. It also, I mean, it did not do that well at the box office. It cost 5.5 million, and it brought in 14.3.
Oh, so less than a 3-to-1 return then.
It got 2.6 return. And remember, the previous two, they were like, feeling dicey on it when they were at about 6.5 average.
Yeah.
And they were both Bs. Very solid Bs. It did not do that well, and a lot of people didn't like it. So say your next line.
So next week, Tuesday the 15th at 8 p.m, we have Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Is it the final Friday?
It's not the final Friday, but what year do you think it came out?
So I did this one earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was testing your own memory.
Yeah, 2003 was it?
93.
No, 93. Yeah, I've gone too far. Yeah,
we have had from 1980 to 1989. So a run of eight movies
in
in
9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
We have had effectively an unbroken run. The longest we've got that the world has gone without a Jason Voorhees was 651 days.
Mm.
Okay, without a Jason Voorhees movies in a decade, effectively. And that movie did so badly.
It was 4 years before another one came out.
It knocked it out for 4 years. That's the end of the 80s.
Mm.
That has to be because all of these went out in cinema.
Mm.
All of these were major cinematic releases. These were effectively, and even bringing in the money it did, the 2.6. Now the normal routine is for a movie to be successful, it's got to make twice its budget, and this is still doing that over and above. It's for every dollar put in, it gets $2.60. And as said, this was incredible. Even something that was coming out at the end of the 80s, this all the way through. Other than like the first one, which felt a bit 70s, these have all been incredibly 80s.
Mm.
I mean, do you think this had much of an impact on the zeitgeist? Because these have been universally panned. There has not been one of these movies that the critics have liked, and that is a phenomenal run.
I say they have been panned, but this is one of the iconic series of films. You know, when it comes to the 80s horror films, there's pretty much like 4 series of films, aren't there? And this is one of them. So,
but even then, the Halloweens, I think Nightmare on Elm Street was still big, but the Halloweens they weren't as consistent. They're a lot more stretched out over a long period of time. This has just been unrelenting continuation of it. And you even look at something like the Saw series.
Mm-hmm.
That managed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That did 7 movies, one a year in the 2Ks, and that's a shorter run.
Yeah.
And that was with the first one effectively being viewed as an art house movie.
Mm.
But even then, like this is. Do you think it gives you any sense of what the 80s was like or anything like that at all?
It's probably an interesting snapshot of part of the 80s. I don't think it's a really good sort of capture of the 80s, though, but it's probably a more fun cinematic time, shall we say.
Okay. Just fair enough. No, I just wonder what, as I said, this is the last one that I would class as a proper cultural item. Before it then hits the nostalgia, later on you hit the nostalgia wave and all that, but it's just insane for someone to. And as I said, some of these they were greenlighting them like the week it came out, and then in less than a year they'd have a new movie out. Just the production speed.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I believe with Saw they had like 2 teams working on them, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
I believe, but not doing the Saw series. I can't stand that.
I've seen the first one. Wasn't interested in any others.
I thought the first one was really, really interesting.
We saw the first one and enjoyed it, and then we watched some sort of commentary about the second one, and it said, "Oh yes, well, people were really demanding this kind of trap and that kind of trap and that kind of trap, so we decided to cram all of those in." And I thought that does not sound like a good setup for a movie.
Yeah, it was also when people started commenting about how great it was that Jigsaw actually, didn't actually ever kill anyone. It's like,
did you not watch the movies? If you think that
he, oh my God, you people are insane.
Yes.
But anyway, I think that's a decent bombshell. I did tell you there'd be one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Oh, so in the next one,
Yep. What's happening?
serial killer Jason Voorhees' supernatural origins are revealed.
Interesting.
Very. Or not. We'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be something to look forward to.
We'll be in the final stretch come the next one. So
is it 3 or 4 more to go?
We've got 4 more to go. We are officially with this one. Oh God, we need a time check, don't we? We have. Oh my dear Lord, we've got 377 minutes left.
Okay.
We're at 735 minutes watched. So, yeah. Got line.
You can follow us at bunkerzilla.co.uk, at the Bunkerzilla Stomping Grounds on Facebook, and on YouTube at Bunkerzilla UK.
So join us next week for Paul and Andrew watch all of Friday the 13th here on Bunkerzilla Twitch, the home of geek culture in the UK. Bye!
Take care, everyone.